to show you guys this because Christian came flapping through the dining room with this thing. And I was like, he made a plane. And to put it in perspective, this is the fence from Elizabeth's horse stable. And look, he threaded them through, attached them, and he made himself an airplane. I'm so done. You're so smart.
And I can take it off if I want. It's no problem.
It's no problem?
Nope.
You're so intelligent. You figured that out on your own?
It would help me. When I was out of trouble, I found something in my door. Used this. I was like, that's built. I built this. And I was like, this is nice. And then I had to use I got out of trouble. Then I started playing with this.
So when you were on timeout, you invented something?
No, I figured out there are stable pieces in my room. I was like, oh, there's stable pieces in my room. Let's find out how to make an airplane with it. And I found out how to make an airplane with it. That's interesting. Actually, a long time ago, I found I could make an airplane with it. I still remember. It was like 5 years ago.
Really? So it was when you were in my tummy. You don't say.
No.
Oh, okay. It was when you were a baby.
Yes.
You're only 5 years old, so it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was 5 years ago when I was a baby.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I just in my brain I was like, maybe I can make an airplane. Maybe I can make an airplane out of those stable pieces.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your plane.
And also, what type of plane is it?
You tell me.
It's a drift plane. A very fast one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, play on. Bye-bye, love. Okay, guys. So my little ones are still in school, but I wanted to do a mini haul, and then because I just bought Isabella another fur coat and I'm looking for one for Christian, I was thinking about working in like a best furs for winter. I know everybody doesn't wear fur. Some people feel some kind of way about wearing animals. I don't. And although I do think you can buy beautiful vintage furs, I'm not against having furs that are from freshly slaughtered animals. So anyway, let's start with the less controversial thing, which is a mini haul. I'm not going to go through everything that I purchased, but I did want to touch on some things that I purchased because I felt that they were really good buys, and I also had things I bought last year that I rebought. So if you guys know anything about me, you know that I really like getting things from Gap for my little boy. And so a couple of things I already had is this fleece lined jacket. Now I will say it is fleece lined all the way down, even the arm part. So this is a really warm fall jacket, and we actually own this jacket already in the size smaller, which he fits perfectly. This one will be a little big. This one is in a size 6'7", but I really love this jacket. I loved it so much, and I thought it was such a good buy last year that I bought it again this year. And then to the same quote, and although these aren't fleece lined, they are very soft in the inside. I also got these pants, these sweatpants from Gap. Again, we bought the outfit last year, but this year the sweatpants are a little bit different with kind of a detail at the knee that I don't think you can see, but it's kind of pleated at the knee. And so for me, this is a really good like going to the park on a fall day or going to the barber shop. I know last week when Mr. and Christian went to the barber shop, Mr. was wearing a sweatsuit, and so Christian wore one too. I'm not a big sweatsuit person for children. I normally get each child like one sweatsuit a year, and it's really for when we're flying, like we're traveling somewhere, then the girls will wear sweats, and then, you know, Christian will, but not normally for like everyday attire. but nevertheless, it does come in handy. So those are both from the Gap, and I really love them. As far as price, I think it might be around $50 for the whole thing. Like maybe the shirt is, or the jacket is like $25, and maybe the sweats are around the same price too. I'm not sure. And I guess it also depends on if you can catch them on a sale or not. I don't think I got those on a sale. So when I saw there were so many outfits on Gap that I wanted to do matching outfits for, but it was hard to get all the sizes. So maybe they would have Bella's size, but they wouldn't have Christian. So literally the only outfit I was able to get where we could all kind of match was gray. But I actually like gray. Mr. always laughs that like I wear the same colors, and I never realized that, but I tend to wear gray and black, and then occasionally like red and like deep purple. I did not realize in any way, shape, or form that that was kind of my uniform, but I guess it is. So what I picked out for Christian was this really, it's a good weight. It's a nice heavy weight. I don't really like the fleece line collar. I think it's probably warm, but I feel like these sort of faux fur materials and these kind of plush fleeces don't really, they don't wear well as far as like when you're actually wearing them and then like when you are washing them, but nevertheless, we have it. But the weight on this is really good. You don't get, like the weave is really tight, so you know when something is cheaper, you can really get skin, like you can see skin through it. But I got this adorable gray sweater, and I went ahead and I got the corduroy pants, which for me, corduroy is always a great winter thing, especially if you live like in the snow. I wouldn't really like, I don't think jeans are really appropriate for snow, but corduroy is great, and so are sweaters. And so to go along with this sweater, also from Gap, and it's not too matchy because the colors are not perfect. Well, they kind of look close to perfectly matched on camera, but they're really not. As I got each of the girls these beautiful, it's on a hanger because you can never get everything from Gap like in one shipment. Like everything always comes in multiple shipments, which is why this is also not a full haul. So it's got these wonderful balloon sleeves. I always buy the girls dresses one size too big, because I find like here in 2020 that a lot of little girls clothes they tend to be too short, too tight, so I always go up a size. So this one is Bella's. It's a size 12. Bella wears a size 10, and she's very petite. She's very thin and she's very petite, so this is big on her, but it does like emphasize the balloon sleeve, which is really cute. I might do cutaways of, you know, one or the other girl trying these on, but it's got a great length, and also it's a good weight. Now, it's not as good of a weight as the sweater by far. It's probably a third of the weight of the sweater up top, but the bottom half definitely has a good weight to it. The arms are a little thicker, but strangely the bodice is not. But I got each girl one of these sweaters, and all of them are obviously 100% cotton, which is okay for kids' clothes. But then for me, if you can see this beautiful pattern right here, I got myself this dress from Saba, and I'll probably like do a kind of cutaway of Saba's website. But Saba is an Australian design company, and they have really beautiful fabrics and a really interesting design. So what I really love, and I'll have to do a try on like cutaway of this, is I love the sort of ruched sleeve at the cap, and I love this belt. It's actually not detachable, which was a bit disappointed because I would have liked to have worn it kind of off center. And then it has this wonderful kind of tri-rope detail on the back, which you can braid or you can tie, or I could even do 3 separate bows. I think that would be cute. Wouldn't that be different? 3 separate bows or a double bow, so a triple or double bow, or a singular braided bow, or just a braid or a bow itself. Like, I think when you have the sort of strung and it is pretty thick, like the cord is pretty thick, you can get creative with it. And this is 100% wool, and I love it. Like, this is gorgeous. So this is the dress that I got myself, and then I was telling Mr. I really wanted him to wear a gray sweater. He already has them, but he was technically looking on one of his favorite websites for men's clothing, and he was like, would this be a good sweater? So I might be able to get Mr. to go along with it too, but he's a Taurus, so he's like a little bit, you know, stubborn about stuff like that. But yes, this is gorgeous. It looks incredible on. It's a really good length. It is 100% wool, so it is, you know, it's not scratchy, but like it is wool. But yeah, nevertheless, this is gorgeous. The sleeves are perfect. The length is really good. It's not short, so I'm not really a fast fashion person, and although I do like a short skirt sometimes because I'm short, this one definitely comes like knee length, maybe slightly below the knee, so it's just a little bit more classy, like slightly above, slightly below. I'll have to try it on to like really show you. So it's pretty classy. Obviously it's high quality. Clothes from Saba, like their dresses run somewhere between like $250 and $400 a piece, so it's not a fast fashion brand, but it's not super duper expensive either. So I will definitely post a link to Saba's website because you might find something there you like. That's Christian. You might find something there you like, and it's a great way to elevate your wardrobe with something that's just really well made. So I would rather shop somewhere where the clothes are a little bit more expensive, but they'll last longer. Also, I really like natural fabrics, so I really like wool. I really like silk, which is going to be the next dress I show you after I show the rest of the kids' clothes. I like those kind of fabrics, and it's harder to find in fast fashion, but yeah, this is gorgeous. I think it's going to be timeless and really pretty, and I'll definitely try it on for you guys. I don't have many more pieces of the kids I want to show you. So I got the same sweater in blue, which I know is plain, but like you can't really go wrong with like cream or like a brown, like a light like creamy brown color, or blue, or red, or green for winter. So I know that it's not like the most adventurous thing, but it's what I like. Like, it's good old faithful. Also, what I got, and this is probably my favorite thing that I want to share with you because I'm just kind of showing you guys my favorite pieces. I got him these adorable corduroy pants, and then look, it's a little cord jacket. How flipping cute. It's fully lined. It's not lined in the arms, which is pretty lame actually. It's weird that they line the sweat jacket in the arms, but like this, they didn't line in the arms. That's kind of cheap, but it is Gap, so I guess there was a limit to like how good the quality was going to be. But I absolutely love this jacket. It's so cute. When the sweater that I intend for him to wear with it comes, you guys will see, because the sweater is kind of like in this color with like strings of like a little bit of like brown in it, like, you know, threads of brown. And I think that sweater with this jacket and these pants right here are going to be super, super cute and fly. So I absolutely love this. I do dress the kids kind of conservatively. So, probably just like on a mommy note, the other thing that I picked up from here, because I'm always looking, is I did grab some socks. I grabbed a couple of packs. Believe it or not, this is 2 packs of socks, even though there's only 6 pairs of socks. And I just want to speak to the quality. I don't see anything special about the quality. I don't feel they're extra thick. I don't think they're better lined. They kind of look a little bit thicker up at the top, but they're not really the best. I've actually never bought socks from Gap because like with undergarments and with socks and stuff like that, t-shirts and things like that, I'm pretty consistent about where I get them. Like there are just particular brands that I absolutely like for kids, and I know that I like them because you guys know, like, I am a longtime mom, right? I've been a mom for 25 years, almost 26 years. So I know the brands that I like. I know what shoes, what socks, what undergarments wear well and are the best quality as far as like thickness and things like that go. But I thought I would try something new. I don't think I'm going to be horribly happy with these, but I don't think I'm going to be horribly disappointed. And you really just can't have enough, in my opinion, t-shirts, socks, and underwear. Like you always need plenty of those, and night clothes, right? You need plenty of house clothes. And okay, I have one more thing I have to show you that I wanted to show you, and then we'll talk about the fur situation and kind of the bust that Bella's new fur coat was, and why I'm not totally happy with it, and why it didn't solve my problem, and now Bella has 2 fur coats for no reason. True to my color scheme, this is showing up like kind of pinky on camera, but this is truly like purple. This is a deep purple. It's not as pinky as it looks on camera, but it is this really pretty 100% silk dress from Amanda Upperchurd, and it was pretty reasonably priced. This came from Neiman Marcus, and it was priced at $238. So not a bad price for a fully silk dress. Really cute for fall. Again, like with a little sort of balloon sleeve with a snap at the wrist and a little V. And with this dress, because it's kind of a very loose fitting dress, I would probably just do like, I have a gray leather belt. I would probably do a gray leather belt, and then I have some really cute suede gray ankle boots. So my belt is gray leather and suede, and then I have some really cute like light gray suede ankle boots. And I would probably style it like that. I'll have to show you guys, but this is, first of all, it's beautiful. It's wholly flowy, and you guys know I have a weakness for silk. So this is my other dress. So yeah, these 2 dresses are the only things I got myself, but I definitely think they were worth it. So like I said, not super expensive, but definitely worth, you know, that $500–600 investment, even if you only get a couple of pieces. And actually with this, I have a belt, a gray fur stole, and the shoes, and I think I can really pull this off with like all those pieces. So I look forward to showing those to you. I don't know if I'll style them in this video or another video. We'll have to wait and see. But that concludes the clothes. Now let's talk about the jackets. And I'm going to share with you kind of the problem that occurred with Bella's jacket and how it differs from Liz's. You guys have seen the fur coat I got Bella last year. And so I bought her another one this year because it didn't have a hood, and I could never like quite match up, even though it's just white. You know, there's different tones of white, especially with natural fur, and I could never quite match up. Well, hold on, let me show it to you, and then we'll talk about it. So when I was little, there were certain things I had that I really wanted my daughters to experience. So every winter I got a fur coat, a rabbit fur coat, and I got a wool, like a 100% wool dress coat. And those were part of my regular attire because I went to private school. So I would wear the wool coat as my regular attire. And then when my mom would wear her furs, I would wear mine. And it's just something that I remember from my childhood, you know, right up there with, you know, going up into Lake Tahoe to the cabin and spending, you know, winter in the cabin and making s'mores and all that. So there are just some things from my childhood I remember really fondly. And so getting my rabbit fur coat every year was one of them. So I don't want to buy a new coat every year. I think for my mom, it was one thing because she just had me. For me, I have many children. So when I think about wool coats for everybody, my preference are Rothschild wool coats because of how they're made. And when I think about furs for everybody, I have to think about, like, I just don't have one child to buy them for. So last year I bought the girls their first furs because I felt like they had reached a place, and how just beautiful is this, right? They had reached a place where I felt they were old enough to care for them. And I did white because white was just like a rather easy color, you know, to match. I didn't have to worry too much about matching colors, and also because it did not clash with my fur. And it was much harder because my coat is not my fur coat, and I only have one, is not rabbit fur. It's mink. It made it a little bit more difficult to match it. And then I do have some other furs like fox, alpaca, you know, different types of furs, but I wanted something that would easily match when I was wearing mine, and I wouldn't have to buy them like multiple coats, right? Even though Bella now has two. So what I really liked about Elizabeth's coat is specifically that it has this beautiful lined hood on it, which is very similar to my coat, except for obviously mine's better made. So the hood is detachable with like these little, not snaps, but like clippy things. And this actually looks beautiful on. I might have her try it on, but as you can see, it's just a really, really beautiful, well-made fur. And so I think for little girls, and again, it could be nostalgia that's making me say it, but I just think for little girls, a nice sort of satin-lined rabbit fur coat in pretty much any color, but I think white is kind of classic winter, or like a very, very light brown. Sable color is just classic winter. And so this is what I got Elizabeth, and I found hers first because these are harder to find than you would think, even finding a fur new. There is a furrier online who has kind of not the nicest rabbit fur coats for children, and they're kind of all the same, and I don't think any of them have hoods. But just finding that coat was, this coat was not an easy feat. If I remember when I found this coat, Neiman Marcus had a rabbit fur coat pretty much exactly like this in black, in size 12, which is what I wanted. And it sold. It was like literally like one coat. And I was really on the fence about a black coat. Like I just felt like black was going a whole different sort of color story than we would all be in. Now this coat is not as soft as this one, and the hairs are not as long. This one has a really plush, dense, tall hairs. I don't know if you can tell. They're very, like, you can blow them in the wind type hairs. So if you can see these right there against my brown skin, right? So just these light, fluffy, long hair, right? This coat, I wouldn't say that it is sheared, but I will say that the hairs are shorter and they aren't as, you can tell the difference in length. They're probably almost half the length of these hairs. I think that's probably why it feels a little less soft as well, is if you see what this is very natural colored. I know that it looks like pretty white on camera, but it actually is got like a brown sort of tint to it. It's closer to the color of Bella's new coat. So it has a brown tint to it. And even here, I don't know if you can see, probably not, but there are actual like sort of some black hairs kind of worked into there. So like it's a shorter, like it's a longer pile, but it's also not dyed, so it's softer. Whereas this one is a dyed fur. The fur itself is definitely shorter. It's soft. It's definitely soft, right? It's just not as soft. And I would say like around the collar, this fur around the collar is not, well, both of the fur lining around, like around the hood is a little bit more like tail fur, so it's a little bit, well, yeah, I think it's tail fur like on a long pelt. Let me take a look at it. Yeah, it's tail fur on a long pelt. But I'm glad that I looked at this collar. So yeah, it's tail fur on a long pelt, it seems. But I'm not a furrier, so I don't know, you guys. And the same thing with this, but just like with shorter pieces, right? Even though the collar is pretty wide, like the collar is about that wide. Anyway, this is a gorgeous coat nonetheless. It's still really, really pretty. It's still a beautiful coat. Problem is, I don't have a hat for it. And because it is pure white and it's not more of this sort of, I don't know if you can tell, this one's like yellowy with like a little brownish hue versus this pure white. It was hard to find a nice fur hat to go with it. Much harder than you would have thought it would be. So I thought, well, I'll just buy a second coat and then I'll sell this coat. Well, this coat's no longer being sold. It's super soft, so I don't think this fur has been dyed in any way. It's got the most beautiful, this is brown suede lining, so it's a different sort of vibe as well because it's lined in this like brown suede, but the coat itself is extremely light. Like, look at this. I'm gonna take the arm, and I don't have very big hands. I have tiny little hands, and I can bunch this whole arm up like in my hands versus her last jacket, which it's ginormous. It's much heavier. It's got, you can feel on the inside, like past the satin lining, you can feel that it's thoroughly insulated. There even seems to be like fur on the inside as well. Like if you feel it, seems to be like fur on the outside, fur on the inside, and then like a satin lining. The suede trim and the suede lining, I love that. I think it's really nice. And I can respect that it's a lighter weight coat. I definitely love the color a little more. It reminds me of Elizabeth's coat in that the color is got like these sort of brown undertones, and the fur is a lot softer. Even up on the hood, like the whole thing is just really soft. This is, if you can believe it, very lightweight for a coat. Extremely lightweight for a fur coat, which is fascinating to me. I'm surprised that it's so lightweight. I cannot tell why. And so that's my disappointment in it. In fact, this is so lightweight, and this is definitely like a child size 12, that there are just little things. Like if you look at the cording on the coat, you can see how thin the cording is. And then the hat, it fits on her head, but the coat doesn't fit tightly, but the hat is a little bit weird to put on. So maybe I'll do some cutaways to show you what I'm talking about. But I feel like in the dead of winter, and it does snow where we're at, I feel like in the dead of winter, this is not gonna work. I just think it's too lightweight. Like maybe in a light snow, but definitely it's not gonna be as warm, right, as this one. So where are we at? What is my point? Bella has 2 fur coats, and I still need to find a hat for this one. Fascinating. And I still need to find Christian a coat. So this was never supposed to happen, but I can barely part with this one because I do like it and I do see a purpose for it. Is it weird to say I kind of almost feel like it could be a play fur coat? Like, not play like she plays around the house, but like if we were going to the park in the winter, or is that weird? I kind of feel that way. I feel like this one is a lot more luxurious and it's better made and blah, 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 blah. And I feel like this one isn't a horrible coat, but it's more lightweight. It's not like dead of the winter. I don't know, y'all. Tell me if I'm going crazy, but kids first. I think rabbit is great for little girls. And if I find someplace to get Christian a fur coat, like if I find a brand or a style of coat that's really good for little boys, which I'm determined to do, I feel like I might have to do like suede and fur, you know, together. But I really want a whole fur coat, right? I've actually found two. One is suede and fur and one is wholly fur. And I'm kind of tempted to get them both. I can't lie. Like, I kind of want to get them. He's 5. He turns 6 in a couple of months here. And I kind of want to get them in size 7. And then he'll have them for like a couple of years. So tell me if I'm crazy. Give me your thoughts, opinions. You think I'm being over the top? You know how some things just have like a nostalgic effect on you? And that's just kind of how I feel about these fur coats. And I always wanted daughters. You guys have to understand, like, you know, my eldest child is 25 and I wanted a little girl for so long. And you have to think my eldest child is 25 and my eldest daughter is, are you 11?
12.
And my eldest daughter just turned 12 a couple of months ago. Like literally a couple of months ago. So you can see that's a huge, ginormous age gap that I went before I got a daughter. So I guess my girls, like, they're my little baby dolls. And so it could be that I'm being over the top, but you guys let me know what you think. Give me your opinion on the coats. Let me know if you think I should keep both coats or sell them, given what you said. And perhaps I will talk about my collection of coats. I have like a really beautiful suede trench coat that I almost never get to wear, but it's like a floor length suede trench coat. A really beautiful like alpaca fur coat. And of course fox mink. So let me know if you guys are interested in talking about that. If you don't find it offensive, I'm pretty old school, so I eat animals, I wear animals, I'm good with it. I like leather, I like fur, I like steak, so really I like lamb. So anyway, with that said, I will talk to you guys later, and I think my kids are starting to wrap up their lessons. Yeah, and my 5-year-old can't stay quiet to save his life. So I'm gonna go.